Okay. Happy New Year from the August 1823 Stitchers.
That's Sally.
That's Angie.
And this is Jack, who did not like the
Noise.
blowers one little bit. Now back to the regular types of glasses.
Here, I'll take that. But now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I can see again. Well, we hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year. We had to delay our floss tube by about 24 hours, so we're coming to you on a Thursday, but that's okay. It all works out.
Yes, it does.
We're going to do things a little backwards in a way, because we're going to start with stash acquisitions and then move on to the regular order of things. So I'm going to put Jack down because he's not happy about the air horns. And we're going to give him a chewy. Just throw it down on the floor and he'll grab it.
Alrighty, there we go.
Okay, so the biggest reason I asked Sally to do stash acquisitions first is I got a gift card to Hobby Lobby, and this is one of this is the only Stitchy thing I got with it, because this is what I use on our floss tubes to transfer my projects to. I've got a white one that I start with, and now I've got a green one that I'll end with, and I'm trying to get up close so you can see it was Spring Shop.
Yes.
And it was 40% off?
Yes. So it was like $6.
Well, it was $12.99, so.
So for, well, a little more, between $6 and $7. It wasn't expensive. But it was reasonable.
I was very happy to get it. I don't really like the color, but I will live with it.
You can always drape some fabric
Are
over
we
it.
going?
I got one of those too, but I'm not going to show mine because it's the same thing.
Yep.
You want to just
Same color
continue?
even.
Yeah,
That's
well, that's all they have
had.
out right now. I'm sure they'll put others because
Well, it was the Spring Shop, so there was leftovers from last spring, I'm sure, that
they had
couldn't
left over.
sell, yeah.
I don't know because
So.
they usually go through and put Spring Shop on. They'll go 66%, 90% eventually.
The rest of my stash acquisitions is in this gingerbread bag that Sally gave me. I'm using because it's still Christmas time.
Yes,
or
it
winter
is.
time, I should say.
Well, it's winter, but it
Gingerbread is
is
not just for Christmas; it's for the winter season.
yes, and technically it is Christmas because Epiphany's not until Saturday.
Correct, and in the Catholic Church, you keep doing Epiphany readings through the 12th. So
That makes sense. Yeah, because then we start. Yeah.
yeah.
Never mind. I can't remember what the season is.
So
All I know is Ash Wednesday's on February 14th.
So one of my stash acquisitions was the Hobby Lobby gift card that I got for Christmas. I actually got 2 Hobby Lobby gift cards from 2 different people. One I got in our Christmas exchange for the EGA Christmas party. And one I got from another friend. And I also got from this friend a Barefoot Needlearts gift card that I plan to spend on the 19th because we planned a trip that day. I'm really excited about that. While we were in Florence, and we decided to go to Hobby Lobby because this one enabled us.
Well, I saw it on Facebook. Facebook enabled me.
She told us all about granny square yarn. It's yarn that when you stitch it with a G hook, I believe it is.
It says
or
H,
an
but
H.
I had to go down to a G. But some people have had to go up. You just have to play with it till you get your attention right.
Right. So I went and bought 2 different, but this is the one I'm going to start with, so I only brought one to share. And I also brought 2 coordinating colors to go with it. I bought 2 skeins of this and 2 skeins of each of the coordinating colors, and that should be enough for me to do a granny square lapkin. So that was part of my stash acquisitions. And the last part, now I just swore I was not going to buy a new chart, but you know sales. And I'm from West Virginia, and someone posted a beautiful pattern, and I've always had a heart on it anyway. I've seen it before, but they posted it was only going to be $2.20. I couldn't resist. So she doesn't give you a cover page in the pattern, so I'm going to hold this real far back so you can get kind of an idea about how beautiful it is. But it's the shape of West Virginia with the River Gorge Bridge going across it at sunset. Beautiful. And I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but
I'll start my South Carolina one when you start your West Virginia one.
yeah, it'll be a while because I have to get some finishes before I can do some new starts.
I was watching.
Plus, I have to get the threads for it.
I was watching Beth, the
Fabric
Fast Stitcher, this morning, and her plan is to finish 2 and then start 1, just like Kansas City girl in the Colorado world.
Steadfast
Julie.
Stitcher, Kansas City. Yeah, several people are doing. There's somebody doing 3 for 1. I think it's a layer up, but she should.
She should because she's got 300 or something, doesn't she? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up a few things too because they were they were like $3, and this is called Baubles on the Beach. And my printer was running out of colored ink. In fact, as soon as I printed this, it said change the ink. But these are supposed to be a little bit more purple. And it's got 80 colors in it. And then I love snow globes. I don't have a huge collection of snow globes, but I like stitching them. I will not be stitching this white background because that is 23 skeins of B5200. I'm just going to get a piece of white fabric. So it only has 79 colors in it.
Well, you probably still have to get white because there's white snow and stuff.
Well, that's true. I've got some of that though. And then I also picked this up from Amazon. It is a lap stand. I'm hoping that Angie's going to be able to use it. Oh, and then my Let It Snow cup. It has snowman and snow. That was my acquisition from Hobby Lobby. That's probably about all the snow we're going to see this year. Although, with the weather system, it's either El Nino or Nina. I can't keep them straight. It's forecast that we should have a wet winter. Now, whether that's going to be a snowy wet winter, an icy wet winter, or just rain, time will tell.
Is that that's all your Dash acquisitions? I thought you got a South Carolina one.
I did, but I didn't bring it.
Oh, okay.
I'll show it next time.
Okay.
Because, yes, I did. In fact, I got 3 South Carolina ones. Enabler. Anyway, but again.
I got 1 West Virginia. There were more available. I got 1.
Well, I couldn't decide. And I liked all the different scenes. And I can do a collage.
Yes, you can.
Oh, wait. I do have one more thing. I was watching Sable Stitchers. And Roberta had it's a keyboard case. And she had a red one. I didn't want to wait for the red one after Christmas, so I found the purple one. And my Halo Go light fits in here along with this charging cord. And let me yep, upside down. See? It folds up nicely.
And that's what Roberta used hers for too?
She did. That's what she had gotten hers for. And then she put the link on their Floss Tube, and I went and I looked and I was like, I want a different color. I didn't want red. Purple. Oh, are we gonna?
Yes, we have one other stash acquisition. I can't stand up.
Or Happy Mail.
So we might want to do a flash down on our seats like this because I can't stand up or pull up.
That works.
Fueled by cross stitch and coffee for Sally. Easily distracted by cross stitch and dogs for me. They're both navy. I can't remember where I got them. I want to say Stitching Goddess. But
that sounds like would be the place to do it. I was thinking
that's where I got
that
it.
Sounds like, yes, Stitching Goddess. Yes. I watched her whip parade.
So
among others.
I think that ends our stash acquisition. So before we get into our cross stitching, we just want to welcome everybody to our cross stitch channel. It's mainly cross stitch. We will have other things show up, like crochet, or cards, that kind of stuff. But we want to welcome anybody who's new to viewing our channel. We're called the August 1823 Stitchers because my birthday is August 18th and hers is August 23rd. So,
and we stitch.
And we stitch, obviously. Anybody who's new, we appreciate your viewing our channel, and we'd appreciate getting a thumbs up, which is what people mean when they say like our video. or subscribing would be nice too. We're up
Yes,
to
it would. 190.
Oh, we reached 190. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Doing good. At 10. This is Flosstube 10, by the way.
Right. Even though it says it's not, it says it's 11. I haven't figured out how to piece them together, and we had to break and record a separate one. But technically, this is Flosstube number 10.
So, in our background, we have a YouTube frozen video scene that we liked. It's got books and fireplaces, and the only snow we'll see in South Carolina, probably.
More than likely, yes.
Hopefully. I don't like snow. I don't like the cold. It's supposed to get down to 29 tonight.
Yeah, it is supposed to get
I'm
cold
not happy. I moved south.
A friend of mine up in North Carolina woke up to snow on New Year's Day, I think.
They can keep it. I lived through it as a child. Nope. Okay, so I guess we need to get down to business. Do you have any previous finishes?
I do not.
We kind of, sort of do.
Oh, yes, we do. That's right.
I brought some stitch buttons because this is what our super secret double agent spy project was. We did cover buttons for our stitching friends, and then took the button part off the back. I did the stitching, Sally did the finishing, and she took the button part off and put magnets on. These are earth magnets, and they are very strong. So we gave all our stitching friends, and then we did our own. So here's mine. We did A and S last because we had to get everybody else's done first. So that's a previous finish that we could show.
Yes.
And so the next thing would be new starts.
So can we get some fully finishes in there first? And some FOs?
I don't have fully finishes or FOs, so I'll let Sally take over.
Well, let me see if I can't demonstrate this. All right, so Angie sent me, was talking about covering her threads. She wants to put them all on rings and then hang them, but cover them to keep the dust off. So I've been playing, as I do nowadays, since I'm retired. I did sew 2 pieces of fabric together, but I don't sew the straightest. I have astigmatism. It messes with my sewing. So before Christmas, I was in the $1.25 tree, and they had these really nice placemats. There we go. Yeah, my thread drops are a little bit longer, so my threads stick out at the bottom, but they're mostly covered. So I decided to see if I could fold it in half, put some snaps on it, and it works perfectly. And if I didn't want to do the holly, it's got a red lining, so I could make it the other way around. And I have a few of those, so I'm gonna try those. So that's an easy way. Fully finished. It's got top stitching on the edges. All I did was put 3 snaps in place.
And simple.
It was very,
it's a good way to protect your floss if you hang your floss on floss drops. Now we do ours on 18 inches.
Yeah, our 18-inch length.
It's actually 36, but we double it over on the floss drop. So we made ours extra long. So if you do a 12-inch,
it doesn't have to be as long.
You just do shorter ones. Plus, you could do the same thing for your fancy floss that's so short anyway. It's just a good way to protect them from the dust and not take up drawer space. And I have mine hanging on a hanger in my closet, in my pantry.
I have them hanging on the back
But I wanted a dust cover on them because, you know, if they're not being used, the threads gather dust very easily.
They do, they do.
And dog hair.
Well, I have cats, so cat hair. But I have a couple of finished objects. Oh, this was a start or a whip last time we filmed. It's a Snow Globe Nativity, and it's by Bent Creek. It came in a kit, so everything was there. It uses the pearl cottons on the 18 count linen over 2, and then it came with 3 buttons.
Do you have any plans for finishing it? Fully finishing it, I mean? I have
a round stand, and I also have a snow globe shaped one. So
from Chantel?
So I'm gonna see if it fits. If not,
I think that'd be cool on a round. She's got a snow globe stand.
I know.
Yeah.
And I got the small. No, I got the ornament side. I don't know. I'll have to see and measure it. I'm not positive. And then I ordered, earlier this year, I ordered the state patterns from Thread Milk Designs of the states that I have visited. And she sent me a freebie. And this is called, it's Jesus. And I used my own colors in it. And I used this is a 20 count Ada fabric. It's a hand-dyed fabric, but I don't think that company's in business anymore. And those are my finishes.
And what did you say you were going to do with that? Fully finish it?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I might make the Jesus into a little pillow. I haven't made,
size for the one.
It is. I haven't made any pillows.
And you got a dough bowl to fill, so.
Well, I got to go see if it's sitting where I think it's sitting. In fact, I was over there and I was in that room yesterday because I did laundry at my brother's house. And waiting for him to come in. I had to help him with a couple of things. And I looked. I didn't even think to look.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's all your.
That's all my finish. Yeah.
Okay.
Now new starts.
Now, want to show our new start?
Sure.
We joined Laura from Stitching by the Shore.
Let me take
in her New Year New Start with Fish and Ships by Long Dog Sampler. Both Sally and I worked in this upper corner here. Am I pointing the right way?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You can cover me when you show stuff so we can see you. See like this. I can still see myself.
All right. Well, I'm doing mine on 16 count Ocean Blue by Stitch Me. Using only 310 black. And Long Dog Sampler Sal, the suggestion is to do it on the first day of every month. So you touch it the first day of every month. So you get some progress on it. On mine, I also have a flip-flop needle minder that Sally made.
Yeah, for a retreat.
Now, I got my pattern from Barefoot Needlearts because I won a $10 gift card to that store from Stitching by the Shore. So it came full circle for me. Now, Sally, what are you doing yours on?
You didn't show yours, though.
Well, I was going to show it after you talked about what yours was on.
Well, mine is on 18 count sand from Fiber on a Whim. And I am using DMC 958. Okay.
You have a lot more done than I do.
Well, I've been stitching more than
my
you
needle's
have.
Sticking out where I'm continuing.
Well, I was working on my border this morning, and so I've got the bird and the two butterflies, and I'm back stitching as I go because I finished up the whale, this little whale this morning, putting in his little.
Yeah, I was thinking about jumping down to him next before I work on the big whale.
Well, I don't like counting down to places, so I stitch and then count off of that.
Well, the border has it every other stitch that goes down, and that's I stitched over to get the bird started, and I'm going to stitch down to get that little whale started before I attempt to do the huge whale. Now this is the width
of the first page.
Of the first page, but this length is not because my Q-snap's not long enough to cover the length of the first page.
Yeah, well, my Nerd hoop isn't either.
So I'm gonna. My plan is to work on this the first day of every month, so I can get something done on it.
Planning on stitching on it this week and then rotating to some of my other big projects because I've got a couple of fair finishes I need to get some work on. Now, I also have another new start. I was looking through. Angie had put all of her kits in a laundry basket, and I went through. I have a laundry basket, and it has a combination. It had a combination of patterns kits and parcel kits, and these are things that I kitted up. But there are also some kits that I bought from like 1, 2, 3 Stitch. This is a dimensions kit, and it's a ornament, and it's a beach ornament. And so I stitched on it a little while. I don't have a lot of progress, and yes, I have a bunch of threads out. I mean, I have a loose thread, and I don't have a needle minder, but I'll move it out of the way. So this is as far as I got. I'm using the kit. Wait, sorry, that's upside down. I'm using the kit floss, the kit fabric. It was I think it's a 14 count Ada. It's in a pretty blue color. Yeah, 14 count light blue Ada and the threads.
I didn't realize there's that much teal in it.
Yeah, in the background, all that water. But that's as far as I've gotten. I got carried away with college football over the break. And I was pet sitting, and, you know, the dogs have to go out occasionally. And they like chasing a Frisbee, so. So those are my new starts. That's it. And that's all I've worked on since our last floss tube.
You don't have any whips?
Nope. Just those new starts. Well, I didn't know because they didn't work on any. I did organize them.
I have.
In my bin.
Yeah, I spent most of December being sick and organizing. January, I've stitched a little bit, but I've been doing more reading, so as you'll see when I do my plans. So the first whip I want to show you is what I called my Advent stitch, and it's the Names of Jesus by Joyful Expressions. Mm-hmm. It's a free pattern that you can get by signing up for their newsletter. So this is as far as I've come. When I showed it 2 weeks ago, I did one strand that didn't even finish the P in Prince, and one strand that didn't even finish the M in Messiah. Now I've got them finished as well as the way. I plan on working this now every Sunday until Lent starts, which Lent starts February 14th, Valentine's Day. So I have a month of Sundays for January, but only 2 Sundays in February before I switch to my Lent stitch. I don't think I'll get it done between now and then. I'll just keep working on it as a Sunday stitch. After Lent stitch, I'll probably switch between the 2 of them so I can get this done for the fair.
Do like 2 weeks and 2 weeks. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I like
that's
that idea.
One thing that I've done. And the needle minder, I believe this is Gina's Unique Boutique. Jesus is the reason for the season. Does it say on it? Nope.
No.
Sometimes they say it in really tiny print. Okay. Let's put my planning sheet in there. I keep all my projects except one that Sally gave me one that she made me a project bag. And these humongous mesh bags from Amazon.
Nothing wrong with those.
Which is a graduation from what I used to use, which was the 2-gallon freezer bags.
Hot bags, yep.
Because they don't stick to the mesh like they did to the freezer bags.
Okay.
So I like them, and they're perfect size to fit widthwise in the clothes basket. The regular clothes basket, I got it from Walmart. Not the cheesy one, but the one that has the handles, or it doesn't cut into your fingers.
Right, they're covered. The handles are covered.
So it's perfect, and I have my 17 whips in there. I could probably fit more, but then things would get wrinkled. So I could keep them loosely in there. It fit nicely. So the other one I worked on, I always try to work on a 6 for 60 project that I started on my 60th birthday month. And this is Forrest Embroidery's Wonder Whale. I have changed all the colors to be more saturated. So where you see yellow, I've got a bright yellow. Where you see green, I've got a deep green and a deep blue. The only color I kept the same was the gray for the whale. All that design on the whale is still gray. Everything else is much more saturated. I've been working on the tail. There's a forest up here on the tail. My goal is I want to finish the fins and the forest before I come back the next time. But this is another one. I need to work harder on it because I'd like to get it done for the fair. So I need to have it done by the end of September. So this is where I am. I'm doing it on a regular Ada blue that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and then I washed it to get the sizing out. I have to say, this is the cheesiest Ada I've ever gotten from Hobby Lobby, because some of the columns, thank you, I'm shaking.
Oh no, I was trying to, the phone puts a shadow on her.
Yeah, some of the colors some of the columns are wider than the other in the rows.
Interesting.
So that's been hard to work with. I feel like I'm working on linen instead of Ada.
Mm-hmm.
So the needle minder is a killer whale because I like whales. You'll see a lot of whales. Watch our program. And that's all I've worked on.
Okay. I don't have anything else. What's else? What's on our list?
Plans.
Okay.
Plans is all we have left.
Yeah, there you go.
We are not doing needles up this time. I will tell you that I have Flossmas fatigue. I have Jingle Bell recap fatigue.
Jingle Ball.
Jingle Ball.
Huh?
And I definitely am whipped out with the whip parades. They were all wonderful.
Yes.
Jen, the caffeinated crafter, had 10 hours.
I didn't realize that.
I haven't watched the last two. Number 5. Still haven't watched that. But I went back and watched her Floss Tube.
Oh, I haven't
The
watched
latest Floss Tube, which was 9 days ago, apparently.
Oh.
But I so into doing her whip parades, I missed her Floss Tube. So
Yeah.
I watched the Floss Tube this morning. The only Flossmas I kept up with was Kel's Stitches. I watched all 25 days of hers.
didn't.
It was so funny. Her 15-year-old son was involved in it. And it was cornball humor. And it was only like 10 or 15 minutes. And it's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of glad that this season is kind of over with all this stuff. And we can get back to regular floss tubes. And I won't feel like I'm drowning in floss tubes.
Yes.
Okay, so plans.
Mm-hmm. Well, I plan to continue stitching on fish and ships till the end of the week. On Sunday, I'm going to pick up my Sunday stitch, which is in the garden right now. When I finish that one, I'll go, hopefully I can get, well, anyway, I won't get it finished before Lent. But then in Lent, you and I are starting the same.
When I survey.
Right. I've got the floss for it because I went ahead and got the whole list of floss from the book. But I don't have fabric.
I don't
for
have
that yet.
fabric or floss. So when we go to Barefoot Needlearts, that's one I'll be kitting up. Especially since it starts in February.
Well, right.
You
Yeah.
know. So we probably will do another floss tube before we go to Barefoot because Barefoot is the 19th.
Right.
So you'll have to wait 2 floss tubes before you see everything we got at Barefoot.
That's true. That's true. Because we plan to film our next one on the 17th and we're going to Barefoot on the 19th.
I plan on, first of all, stepping out of cross stitch for a moment. I plan on doing some dog cards. I have to do a lot of dog cards because people get new dogs or they lose their dogs or some such thing. So I found that I have some die cuts of dogs and I'm just going to try to get a bunch of those done. For cross stitch though, I'm going to continue to work on a wonder whale and the names of Jesus. But 2 I did not show today. I will show you now. I've read 7 books, I believe. It might be 6, and I'm working on number 7. Not sure. But Stitching Cabin did the reading tracker, and I chose the 104. And I started it for my birthday to see how long it would take me from the time I turned 60 to read 104 books. I'm reading a lot slower than I used to. Used to, I could read 100 books in 3 months, you know. But I don't think I'm going to make 100 in a year at this rate. Anyway, it's just basically on 14 count. I'm working on the top shelf of books.
Nice.
It's completely stitched except for coloring in the books there. And once I color in 7, I need to start working on that second shelf and getting ready for the next group. You'll see over here in the genres that some of them aren't labeled by colors. That's because I haven't read those yet. I think, is thriller on that list?
I'm not sure.
Yep, I've already done a thriller, and I've already done fantasy, and unfortunately the 7 that I've got are thriller fantasy, and maybe a contemporary. So I've already read all those. I need to make myself get those other genres. so I can get them colored in. So I'm going to be working on that one. And I'm going to try to work some more on January, month to month, with Stitching by the Housewives. It's also stitched on white Aida, only 18 count. I only use the Classic Colorworks for the barn. Everything else is just VMC. And I've got a lot of the barn finished. Basically, I have to do the roof and this window here. So, just haven't been, snow doesn't motivate me. So, I like the blue, but I don't like the thought of snow. So, it's kind of hard to get this one done. So, those are my plans. Sally gave us this, she organized these new planners for us. And so, we have these Floss Tube sheets that I filled out. We have January.
What?
January calendar is in here somewhere.
Yes, it's in. It's under the calendar.
We also have the yearly goals, and I've already put the first day of each month to work on long dog sampler.
You know, I didn't think about that. The first day of each month. I need to do that.
Calendar, there it is. Look at my calendar, but the first part, that calendar I use for everything. It's got my doctor's appointments, the day that we're Floss Tubes, the day we're going to Barefoot, the EGA meeting, that kind of stuff is all on there. And then right behind that calendar, she has the bigger calendar where we can write what we've worked on. I don't count stitches. I just count the days that I touched it. Even if it only got 10 stitches, I count that day. That is the day I touched it. So far this month, I have stitched every day except today. Hopefully I will stitch later today.
I plan to. I brought my
December
stuff.
was, I didn't stitch very much in December.
I stitched a good bit in December. I finished a lot of ornaments.
So far in the book you've given me, I've filled out some.
There you go. Yep. I Frankenstein mine together last night. Because I had a 2-year calendar I bought from Amazon, and I ripped it apart and poked holes in it, and I had already put tabs. On my calendar for the month, and so here's what mine looks like. I just poked holes in it and stuck it in my binder, and that turned out pretty good because it's already and I may do that for yours next year.
Okay.
Just get us a couple of those, and then just rip them up and
sounds good to
go
me.
from there. I had opened and closed it so much it was really easy to pull apart. Of course, you can also use the heat gun to melt the glue.
Yeah.
That holds them together. Anyway.
So, we'll probably be back in
2 weeks.
Well, we've been doing it on Wednesdays, so it might be just a little bit less than 2 weeks. We try to do it just twice a month and keep it on Wednesdays. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So the next time you see me, I should have a new pair of glasses.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been having a hard time stitching, and I've been complaining to my eye doctor, and he's complained right back to me that I have not bought glasses, even though he keeps telling me, you know, oh, just whip out $200 or $500 to, you know. And if this is the only pair I have left, because they did a glasses drive, and I got over ambitious, and I donated all of my glasses instead of keeping the last pair. So I would have to send these away for 2 weeks. I can't do that.
No.
I can't. I am legally blind. I have to have my glasses. So I have purple glasses the next time you see me.
Oh, wow.
With it's dark purple, but right down here it's like a purple fuchsia. Like a neon purple.
I had purple glasses the last
And it's a little bit shorter lens. I wanted something shorter. I didn't want such a big lens. So I look a little different. I told them I wanted some color, and they said, well, you already have color. Your glasses are blue. I said, I want a pop of color. So you can look at something on my face besides my teeth. Hopefully, I'm begging the dentist to take some of my teeth, a quarter of my teeth out, but I doubt it's going to be before the next floss tube. They're going to have to do it 4 different times. It's going to take 2 to 6 years to get them all out and get my dentures and stuff in because I have Sjogren's. So that's a problem. So anyway, changes will be happening. It's a new year. I hope to God, I pray to God that 2024 is much better because 2023 was terrible to me and to a lot of people. Right now, there's a lot of disease out there, a lot of respiratory viruses. It's winter, so we're all in close quarters, not going outside and stuff, and a lot of people are sick. And the hospitals don't even let children in under 12 unless they are there to themselves be visiting the hospital. Children cannot even enter the hospitals in a lot of cases. At least here locally, that's the case. So stay safe. There's a lot of conventions coming up, a lot of cross-stitch, weekends, stitch-aways happening. I think in the next 2 weeks. Be safe, be smart. If you're sick, don't go.
Correct.
And if you see someone that's sick, get away from them. Don't go up and hug them. Just be smart so we can all stay healthy and we can all stay stitching. And that's what we wish for you all, to have a healthy, happy, stitchy new year. So with that said, is there anything else to say? Well, that's all, folk.
Bye.